This is our time. The main news at this hour. In the studio, Oleg Borisov. Hello. Odesa is once again under a massive attack by Russian drones. As a result of the overnight attack, 7 people were injured in the city, according to local authorities. A fire broke out at an energy infrastructure facility. An administrative building, nearby houses, and cars were damaged. Rescue workers have already put out the fire. 8 people were injured, including 2 children, as Russia carried out an airstrike on Sloviansk in the Donetsk region. 11 apartment buildings and 35 private homes were damaged, as well as shops and cars. Fires broke out at the impact sites. Rescue workers extinguished 3 fire outbreaks. Explosions have been heard in Kherson since early morning. There, as a result of a Russian attack, 4 people were injured. They suffered concussions, blast injuries, and traumatic brain injuries, according to the regional military administration. It was also reported that a 6-year-old girl who was injured during the evening shelling of the city died in the hospital. The number of people injured as a result of yesterday's missile attack by the Russian Federation on Kryvyi Rih has risen to 6. This was reported by the city mayor, Yuri Vilkul. According to him, a 3-year-old girl is among the wounded. In addition to the administrative building, which was the intended target of the Russians, 15 apartment buildings and 29 private houses, a school, a gas pipeline, a store, garages, and cars were damaged. But the shelling of the Dnipropetrovsk region did not stop there. Starting in the evening, the Russian army shelled the Nikopol district with heavy artillery. 2 private houses, a gas pipeline, and a car were damaged. A woman was injured. The Sinelmilkovo district of the region was hit by drones. 1 private house was completely destroyed, and 11 more were damaged. Russia launched 2 Iskander and ballistic missiles and 138 drones at Ukraine overnight into Thursday. About 85 of them were Shaheds, according to the Ukrainian Air Force. Ukrainian air defenders neutralized 114 UAVs of various types in the north, south, and east of the country. Missile and drone strikes were recorded at 14 locations. Today, Ukraine is celebrating Rocket Forces and Artillery Day. President Zelenskyy congratulated all the soldiers who hold Ukrainian positions every day, risking their lives. According to Zelenskyy, this is difficult but extremely important work. Our artillerymen and rocket troops strike, weaken the enemy, and cover the infantry, and their work makes it possible to stop breakthroughs and save lives. They're comrades. Every accurate shot means one less danger for our people. Volodymyr Zelenskyy, President of Ukraine, on Telegram. Russia launched 2 Iskander and ballistic missiles and 138 drones at Ukraine on Thursday night. About 85. Of them, 5 were Shaheds, according to the Ukrainian Air Force. The defenders of Ukraine's skies neutralized 114 of them from the north, south, and east of the country. Missile and drone strikes were recorded at 14 locations, and also a moratorium on strikes against Ukrainian and energy infrastructure, at least until the end of winter. This proposal was put forward by Emmanuel Macron. He is currently in Beijing on a 3-day state visit. The president of France has already met with Chinese leader Xi Jinping. Emmanuel Macron is urging China to work towards a lasting and just peace in Ukraine so that the war can finally be ended and not repeated. I hope that China will join our call and our efforts to achieve at least a ceasefire in Ukraine in the form of a moratorium on strikes against critical infrastructure. This is crucial in winter, since civilian infrastructure, especially energy facilities, continues to be targeted by Russian attacks. But in a broader sense, we must work together to achieve a just and lasting peace, one that respects international law. Chinese leader Xi Jinping, in turn, stated that Beijing supports a peace agreement on Ukraine that is acceptable to all parties. He expressed hope that Russia and Ukraine would achieve a just and lasting peace through dialogue and negotiations. Meanwhile, another round of talks between Kyiv and Washington is expected to take place today. In Miami, Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner will meet with Ukraine's chief negotiator Rustem Umerov to continue discussions on the so-called Trump peace plan. This was reported by Ukraine's ambassador to the U.S., Olga Stefanishina, during a press briefing in the U.S. Senate. She added that there hasn't been much progress in the negotiations so far, but the process is ongoing.
Ukraine is focused on achieving results. Ukraine is interested in a just and lasting peace. We've invested a lot of time in negotiations with the American side regarding potential agreements. We don't need to wait for promises from Russia. Russia has already committed enough war crimes. They failed the negotiations in Alaska. They failed the negotiations in Budapest. They failed the negotiations on the 28-point peace plan. Olga Stefanishina, Ukraine's ambassador to the U.S.
For his part, Donald Trump stated that Ukraine and Russia had the opportunity to reach a peace agreement earlier, but did not take it. He said this at a briefing at the White House. The American president emphasized that he considers the war a tragedy that could have been avoided. Trump also commented on the meeting between Witkoff and Putin in Moscow.
This is a war that should never have started in the first place. It's terrible. Putin had a good meeting with Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff. As for how that meeting ended, I can't tell you, because, it takes two to tango, just like with Ukraine. I think we did pretty well with them.
The United Kingdom and Norway are preparing to sign a historic defense pact that will establish a joint naval fleet. The main goal of this initiative will be to track Russian submarines in the North Atlantic and to protect critical underwater infrastructure, according to The Independent. The pact has been named the Luna House Agreement, after a base on the Scottish Islands that was used by the Norwegian resistance movement during World War II. I should note that, according to the British Ministry of Defense, over the past 2 years, the activity of Russian vessels in waters near the United Kingdom has increased by 30%. Russia is sending abducted Ukrainian children to military camps in Belarus and North Korea. This was stated by Yekaterina Rashevska, an expert from the Regional Center for Human Rights, during hearings in the U.S. Senate. According to her, they have managed to document 165 such camps where young Ukrainians are indoctrinated and Russified. Such camps exist in temporarily occupied territories in Russia, Belarus, and North Korea. In this photo is 12-year-old Mikhail from the temporarily occupied Donetsk region. And this is 16-year-old Liza from Simferopol. They were sent to a camp in North Korea, 9,000 kilometers from home. In this camp, children are taught to destroy Japanese militarists and meet with Korean veterans who, in 1968, attacked the U.S. ship Pueblo, killing and wounding 9 American soldiers. The United Nations General Assembly demands that Russia immediately return all illegally deported Ukrainian children. The corresponding resolution was adopted the day before by a majority of votes. It emphasizes the inadmissibility of the continued practice of relocating and entertaining children with their families. 91 countries supported the document. 12 countries voted against it, including the Russian Federation, Belarus, and Iran. Lithuania delivered a note of protest to Belarus over weather balloons that regularly violate the country's airspace. The day before, due to an aerial threat, Vilnius Airport once again suspended operations. In addition, Belarus is deliberately blocking Lithuanian trucks and interfering with international freight transport. The Lithuanian Ministry of Foreign Affairs is demanding that Belarus immediately take measures to control its airspace and state border. In connection with these gross violations of international law, Lithuania reserves the right to take appropriate legal action, demand that Belarus be held accountable for compensating the damage caused, and take other retaliatory measures at the national, European, or international level. From the statement of the Lithuanian Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
Subscribe to UATV English and stay updated on the most important events, top news from Ukraine and all over the world, in-depth analysis, exclusive reports and interviews, all on hand in our channel. Join our community of viewers and stay tuned.